Hello everyone, welcome to the online course on enzyme engineering. Today, we will delve into Task 1 properties of immobilized enzymes. First, let us clarify what an immobilized enzyme is. Simply put, it is the use of certain technical methods to immobilize an enzyme which originally was free in solution onto a carrier. What are the benefits of doing this? The most direct benefit is increased enzyme stability, maintaining its catalytic activity and allowing it to work under harsher conditions. At the same time, immobilized enzymes can be easily recovered and reused, which greatly reduces industrial production costs. Furthermore, it simplifies the product separation process and is highly suitable for large-scale continuous production. These advantages make immobilized enzyme technique an indispensable part of modern enzyme engineering. Now, let us learn about the property of immobilized enzymes. When an enzyme is immobilized on a carrier, some changes occur. These changes are not just physical state alterations, but also involve core indicators of its catalytic performance. Understanding these characteristics is crucial for selecting appropriate immobilization methods and optimizing reaction conditions. Next, we will explain these key properties one by one. Next, let us look at the first core property, enhanced stability of immobilized enzymes. This is one of the most prominent advantages of immobilized enzymes. After immobilization, the enzyme's robustness is significantly increased. First, it becomes more heat-resistant and can work at higher temperatures, which is very beneficial for industrial production requiring high-temperature reactions. Second, its storage time is longer, which is very convenient in practical applications. In addition, it gains stronger resistance to substances that can damage protein structure, such as proteases and organic solvents. These characteristics make immobilized enzymes more reliable and durable in practical applications. The second core property is the optimum temperature. Generally, the optimum temperature of an immobilized enzyme does not differ much from that of the free enzyme. Interestingly, however, this value is not fixed. It is affected by the immobilization method and the support material we use. For example, when we covalently attach the enzyme firmly to a carrier, the enzyme structure becomes more stable, so its optimum temperature may increase. Taking aminoacylase as an example, its optimum temperature in the free state is 60 degrees Celsius, but after immobilization with different supports and methods, this temperature can rise to 67 degrees Celsius or even 72 degrees Celsius, which is very helpful for improving reaction efficiency in industrial production. The third core property is the optimum pH. The optimum pH of immobilized enzymes also often changes, mainly due to two factors. The first is the charge property of the support. Look at this diagram. If the support carries a negative charge, it will attract hydrogen ions in the surrounding solution like a magnet, causing the local pH around the enzyme molecule to be lower than the overall pH of the solution. To put the enzyme in its optimal working state, we need to raise the pH of the entire reaction system. This manifests as a shift of the immobilized enzyme's optimum pH toward the alkaline side. Conversely, if the support carries a positive charge, the optimum pH will shift toward the acidic side. The second factor is the nature of the reaction product. If the product is an acid, it will accumulate around the enzyme, also lowering the local pH and causing a shift in the optimum pH. The fourth core property is the change in substrate specificity. Simply put, if the enzyme's substrate is a small molecule, its specificity remains largely unchanged after immobilization. However, if the substrate is a large molecule, such as a protein, the situation is different. This diagram explains the reason well. The support itself forms a physical barrier, that is what we call steric hindrance. Large molecule substrates have difficulty passing through this barrier to reach the enzyme's active site, so the catalytic efficiency is greatly reduced. For example, immobilized trypsin is much less capable of processing proteins than free trypsin, but its ability to process small peptides is largely unaffected. This reminds us that when selecting an immobilized enzyme, we must consider the size of the substrate. To summarize the advantages and disadvantages of immobilized enzymes, their advantages are very prominent. They can be reused greatly, reducing costs. They have good stability and can adapt to harsher conditions. They are easy to separate after the reaction, simplifying subsequent purification steps. These advantages make them outstanding in industrial production. However, they also have disadvantages, such as a possible decrease in the ability to process large molecule substrates due to steric hindrance, and the immobilization process itself may cause some loss of enzyme activity. Understanding these pros and cons helps us make the most appropriate choices in practical applications. Despite some disadvantages, the application prospects of immobilized enzymes remain very broad. In industry, the most famous application is the production of high fructose syrup. Using immobilized glucose isomerase, we can efficiently convert cheap cornstarch into sweeter fructose. In environmental protection, immobilized enzymes can be used to treat industrial wastewater, for example, to degrade toxic phenolic compounds, being both efficient and environmentally friendly. In the medical field, immobilized enzymes also play an important role, such as in the synthesis of commonly used cephalosporin antibiotics, greatly improving the efficiency and purity of drug production. These applications fully demonstrate the great value of immobilized enzyme technology. That is all for today's lesson. Have you learned it?